What's up guys, I am finally back and my first video will be about the new exotic grenade launcher this season, Witherhoard, which is very cool, very good for ad clear, very good for single target damage. So we're going to be breaking down those two things, then also just be going over some of the main mechanics of the weapon and things like that. So first, looking at the exotic perk, projectiles fired by this weapon blight the target or nearby area of impact. Then the secondary perk right here, break the bank. Blighted targets take damage over time and blight the nearby area on death. So looking at what those perks actually do, when you shoot at the ground, it creates this big trap like taken ball like effect that does tick damage over time on any enemy that walks into it, as you see right here on this ogre. Then if you also shoot straight at a target, it will stick to them and not create a blight, but will do more damage over time. As you see right here, the number is higher. And when you do multiple shots at them, once they've already been stuck before, the impact damage is a lot higher, as you saw it there, doing 9,000 damage. Then the second perk on this weapon is if you stick an enemy, not shoot at the ground, but stick them, when they die, they will drop the blight around them, just as if you shot at the ground. So you can stick them, then still get that area effect after killing them, which is very cool. So if you look at the ad clear on this weapon, it is very good. It's a lot like Anarchy, where you can deny an entire area by just shooting at it. Then any enemy that walks through it will take that tick damage and probably die. So it's going to be very good in situations where you know where the enemies are coming from. For example, a spawn door. Or if there's a situation, for example, a thrall, where you can shoot at the ground and stand in it and let all the enemies run into it, trying to attack you, but then die to the tick damage. So I'd say that ad clear overall is a lot like Anarchy, but this is a special weapon and not a power weapon, so you're going to have more ammo. It's going to be a little bit easier to manage your economy, and because of that, it gives you more reason to actually use the weapon for ad clear. Unlike Anarchy, since it's a power weapon, you kind of need to save it for, you know, those single target damage and things like that, so you don't really blow through your ammo very quickly. So overall, the ad clear on this weapon is very fun. And now looking at the single target applications of this weapon, if you shoot at the ground, it will do a burst damage when it explodes and also tick damage over time, just like Anarchy, as long as the enemy is in that blighted area. But what you can also do is shoot it straight at the enemy, and instead of getting the blighted area, it just will stick inside of them and do a higher tick damage, as you see right here. So there's two different ways of using this weapon, which is very cool, different mechanics. So now the question becomes, what is more efficient and what can you do with this weapon? So do they stack? So if you shoot two at the ground, do the tick damages overlap and stack? And unfortunately, as you see, just like grenades in the game that do tick damage, you cannot have more than one per player stacking at a time. And the exact same thing happens if you stick it at the enemy. It does not overlap the tick rates, it's just that one constant tick rate. But what does happen is every single time you stick him after he's already been stuck once, the impact damage is a lot higher, which is very cool, to an 11,000 on Greg. So you can't stack two tick rates on the floor or two tick rates sticking to an enemy, but what you can do is shoot one at the ground and then shoot one at them, and those are considered two different things, and they actually do stack, as you see right here. I'm hitting that 1877 number on the ground and also that 3754 number on them at the same time. So if you're using this weapon and this weapon alone, that would be the most efficient way of doing damage with it, is by shooting one at the ground, then start shooting at the target, as you see right here, and that will be the most optimal single use of this weapon. But just like Anarchy, it's not really meant to be just a weapon that you shoot at a target and that is it. You really need to take advantage of the tick damage and comboing it with other things, just like with Anarchy, where you stick an enemy twice and swap over to a shotgun, sniper, whatever it is. With the Witherhoard, what you can do is now stick an enemy with that, then swap to any power weapon. So now the combos are with power weapons, for example, Wendigo, swords, and all kinds of things. So in a way, that already makes it a little bit better than Anarchy, because of the fact that with Anarchy, you're comboing it with special weapons, but with this, you're comboing it with power weapons. So looking at the DPS of the tick rate on the ground, just shooting one at the ground and seeing how long it takes and how much damage we do, it's going to end up doing 25 ticks for a total of 49,654, including the impact damage, which is roughly 6.5 thousand DPS, which isn't a lot. But what you can also do is shoot one at the enemy and get that separate tick rate going, as you see right here. This one's that actually lasts a little bit longer and tick for a higher amount, but not as quickly. And that took just over 10 seconds, and the total damage you do right there is 17 ticks of the 3754 for 64,000, and also 6.5 thousand DPS. So if you overlap those two tick rates as we showed earlier, what you can do is shoot one at the floor, then shoot one at the enemy, and overlap those two things and get 13,000 DPS, which is pretty much the exact same as Anarchy. Once you shoot to Anarchy, you do roughly 14,000 DPS for the tick rate. So it's roughly the exact same as Anarchy once you shoot down two shots. So just looking at one example for this video, we're going to use a whirlwind blade sword, which is pretty much the best perk to use for a single target. And there's going to be two different things you can do. You can just shoot one at the target, then just go in with a sword, Or what you can do is also shoot one at the floor, then shoot one on the target, then go with the sword. Depending on how much time you have in the situation, if you can shoot one at the floor before the boss even spawns, obviously that's going to be very optimal and probably result in the highest DPS. So to get the DPS of this combo, we need to look at the sword. So first, look at the different numbers on the sword with up to ×5 whirlwind blade. It's going to go all the way up to 16,190. So every stack is going to be exactly 6% more, capping out at 30% at 16,190. And if we look at the quote-unquote rate of fire of the sword doing 16 slices, the first 5 will be building up to ×5 of the buff, then the last 11 will be at the ×5 number. That took 7.574 seconds, meaning DPS of the sword is 32.7 thousand. But if we pair that with the grenade launcher, it's going to go up to 45.7 thousand, just like Anarchy helps different special weapons. And like I said, in this video, I just really want to go over one combo because of the fact that this weapon has a catalyst, which I do not have yet, which is auto-loading holster, then also increased handling. And how you get that is a quest from the gunsmith, which the first step is just getting kills with the weapon, and the second step is like all the previous exotic season pass weapons, where you have to do a bunch of activities and things like that. But the good thing about this season is in the season pass at rank 11 and rank 22, you get 2x, 3x, and 4x progress on that quest. So I'm gonna wait until I get to rank 22 to actually grind this out. And once I do, I'll probably have another video with more combos and comparing some of these combos to Anarchy combos and seeing which have higher DPS and which are better in different situations. Overall, I really love the weapon. It's really good for ad clear. I think the auto-loading holster will make it even better for ad clear because what you'll do is be able to shoot at a group of enemies, then pull out your primary for a bit and kill other things around the room. Then once it's auto-loaded holstered, you can pull it back out and shoot at another group and over again. And the same thing will happen for different DPS combos. You can shoot one at a target, pull out a sword, then, you know, after like 5, 6, 7, 8 swipes of the sword, pull it back out, shoot again, and rinse and repeat that combo over and over again. So once I get this weapon masterworked, I'll definitely make another video comparing a lot more combos versus Anarchy combos and kind of seeing which is better. Then also you can expect this versus strike bosses more than likely, because there's a glitch going on right now where if you have multiple people on your fire team all stick an enemy at once, it appears that the game can't handle the tick rate and the enemy just falls over and dies. I've seen Sweat do it on Callus and also Rikakis do it on Ribbon. So there's a glitch going on right now, so who knows if they're going to patch that or look into it, but it's definitely not intended. You can pretty much kill any boss in the game instantly by just having all 6 people in your fire team shoot and stick a target at once, and they just die. So anyways, that's gonna be all for the video, just some strike gameplay. I'm happy to be back on YouTube. I'm gonna try to upload as many times as I can this season. This season already is amazing compared to the last, so I'm definitely happy about that. Let me know what you guys think about this exotic so far. I think it's really cool. I think it has the same style as Anarchy, but just in a special form, and I really like that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.